Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Arch City Comics. This is CG Jumpstart Between the Panels. Joining me tonight, we have the Mad Canadian, my brother from the north, Simon Sim Pothier.
Hell yeah! Pleasure to be here. Welcome to CG Jumpstart.
Welcome. I mean, you're no stranger to this channel, obviously, but it's very rare that you're an interviewee on this channel.
True. Usually I'm part of either like a host or, behind the scene.
It's true. And of course, this wouldn't be CG Jumpstart without the editor supreme, Mr. Steve Dye.
Hell, brothers. Hell. Thanks
Hail.
for having me back, Adam. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Doing real good.
Right
Excited
on.
to be back. Took a week off, and I miss it. I miss the show. I get a lot of slack too if I don't keep up and do the show every week. People are up in my DMs going, "What happened? Where's the show? What happened?" It's like, man, I have my own shit to do sometimes, you know.
Got your own shit to pimp once in a while.
Yeah,
I did.
we
Jumpstart
appreciate
got
you, man.
people hyped. It's a great freaking project that's coming.
I mean, I might not have done the show last week, but I was actually working on some Jumpstart stuff. I was working on Blood Hunt, and I got my fingers in a little bit of everything.
We're on.
Yeah.
Hail to
Well,
the chat. Oh, go ahead. Finish your thought there, Steve.
Nah, just we appreciate you having us on and keeping this weekly show going. And, here in just another 3 weeks, we'll be up and rolling with this thing. So we appreciate it. Yeah.
God, I can't wait.
Yes.
I can't wait. We
Dude,
might
I
take
can't wait
a
to
might
have
take a
this
little
pitch, too.
time off to separate season 1 from season 2 while the book's in campaign mode. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, hail to the chat. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. First here we had Nella Possessed. Hail, girl. How are you doing tonight? We have Martin Young, True Comment, Triple R, White Cat Comics, Skull Diamond 94, of course Sim. There's Mr. Gad Hanzo. He says, "Entertain me." Well, we're gonna do our damnedest. And jump in whenever you feel like, Gad. You've got the link. Come hang out, bullshit with us.
Yep.
I know the chat definitely likes when Gad makes his appearance because he always goes off on some kind of random tangent and gets all
Yeah.
fired up.
Love Gat, and we have a great project together too.
Yeah, and we can, if he pops in, we can talk a little bit about that as well. We got Vault Cobalt in the chat too. Hail.
Yeah,
He's up to some big things. He was giving me shit. Well, I was giving him shit because he was just talking to you in DMs. I said, "Stop taking up Steve's DM space, and he might actually see that I'm trying to talk to him."
See, I got his. I didn't get yours. So I don't know what the hell's up with that. Yeah, I don't know.
Buy his fucking DMs or something.
Yeah.
We got the Wooster. He says, "Will Steve yell spoilers at Sim?" Probably.
Yeah. At
Probably.
some point.
Yeah, probably. I'd imagine so. But yeah, we're here to talk a little bit with Sim about Nat the Merc, which is going to be in CG Jumpstart. We got cool little character designs here. Why don't you tell us about these characters, Sim?
These are characters that I'm bringing back. Those are characters that I created in 2009 or 10, and I published in 2012, and I'm bringing them back with their full miniseries. Like I have like the first miniseries. It's a 3-part that I got planned, 48 page each minimum. And right now I also have Tales from the Natverse, where I'm going to be reprinting all 5 short stories that were done before in one big book. But it's a project that means a lot to me because it's like you could say a love letter to Heavy Metal Magazine, to everything that's sci-fi that I love so much. Everything is in there. And
you got a lot of personal touches into this story as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rose is a character that I created in 2009. It was for a fundraising for breast cancer. My mom was involved in it, right? And I was going to cons, and I'm like, I'm going to make money from it. And I created that character called Rose, right? And Rose came from it's the nickname of one of my cousins. And she's a bit of a rebellious punk, a bit.
She looks like it. You definitely capture that in the character design.
Yeah. And when my mom got diagnosed with cancer in 2014, well, I decided to bring that character out of the shed, you could say, and out of the box, and give her a meaning and a purpose, and Nat the Merc. So I made her first story, and her name is Elena, like my mom, Elaine. and it's dedicated to her. Yeah. And you also have the Nat's dad, whose name is Bob, which is also referred to my stepdad.
That's really cool. I like
It's like immortalizing to people that are really important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it, Sim. Paying a little tribute. I like it.
And not everybody know, but my stepdad passed last month.
Yeah, so this kind of even means a little bit more now too.
Mm-hmm. But it's and Adam and Steve, Nat that's the name of my son, my youngest son, Nat Nathan.
Yeah, it's a cool project. I really dig it. It gives off really fat, not just heavy metal magazine, but the heavy metal movie that
Mm-hmm.
from long ago and all that. It's big, it's bold, and it's kind of rocking. I dig this project a lot.
Yeah, I take everything that inspired me from 2000 AD, heavy metal magazine, Lobo, and everything, manga, everything is in there. Like in there you have Loani, right? I'm not gonna say too much because she's one of the characters that you gotta discover slowly, but she's a fully synthetic being, and she was made to be the replacement body of Rose in the first place, but she's sentient now.
So
And
what?
Rose,
Okay, so what do you mean by she's fully synthetic?
yeah, she's made. She's a fully synthetic being. There's no organs in her, like
So when the
she was made by
SJWs yell, "Where are her organs?" you can say she has none.
they're all synthetic. Yeah, none of them are actually organs. you know, she's a synthetic being, so she was totally created in a lab.
So not like not a
She's not.
cyborg.
Nope, and she's not. She's not a clone.
And not a clone. I'm so confused. No, I really like that that vibe that she gives off. It just my mind actually like the gears are turning. I'm like, okay, synthetic. Like, what is she made out of then?
But do you remember Spartan in the Wildcats?
Yeah.
That was or the other one in the robot, the cyborg that was in Aliens, right?
Yes.
They have organs, but they're not like your organs.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
True Comment says not a sex robot either.
Read, you'll find out. But she's not. She's.
Bald says I'm fine with that. Luani is hot all the same.
Let's just say that one of the first story that I had written of her for where Nat met her, it was on Planet 69, and I'll leave it at that.
Cheese ball, come on, man.
Hey, it's a black marketplace. I just thought it was funny to call it, like instead of just call it black ball place, like so it's a big black ball like pool, right? And in the middle it says Planet 69.
Yeah, I like that a little better, but I'm still with Adam.
But it was part of one of the first short stories I've written about her. But it's different now. It was the first pitches. But Rose in there, she's like a big sister role, like a friend that becomes a big sister type of role. Do not.
And this is all part of your greater plan to have this whole NAT universe.
Yes. Like they all have like their own little adventures. Like Rose is not just, they're not a team. Rose is she's the queen of the pirates. She has her own little things. Like in Tales of the Notverse, you get to see her first story. Loani, she's gonna have her. It's a Notverse. It's Nat and his dad, and he has friends, and there's a big universe in it. And within it, there's other things that you'll find out that will happen in Tales of the Notverse.
So this isn't like a team book where we're gonna see like the three of these characters, like kicking some ass. This is actually three separate characters in the universe that all have their own stories,
and they're all linked. Yes.
Okay. All right.
So, it's like it's like the story of the guy that has something happening to him, and along the years he made some friends, but friends that always have his back. And when shit hit the fan, who shows up, they're friends. So that's pretty much, that's more the aspect of it than a team book.
Okay.
Interconnected
Yes.
adventures. Yeah. It's a cool concept. The little snippet of that we've got for Jumpstart's a really fun little read. It kind of jumps you right off into kind of what Nat's about, but there's a lot more to who he is than would fit in there. So it's a cool story. Yeah.
Well, are we ready for the spoilers? Do we want to show off a little bit of what we're going to see in the magazine?
Yes, I could, but I could also, first I'll probably say a little bit about Nat.
Go right ahead.
Nat is a man who doesn't know much about his past other than he was created in a lab by aliens, trying to reproduce a certain DNA trend, right? They were trying to reproduce some kind of being, and they were going around all type of solar system, picking up different specimen and trying to reproduce it so it could work. And he's a hybrid, and he has human DNA, but he doesn't know much other than the Federation want him dead. His dad was sent to kill him. The guy that's actually his dad now was a droid sent to kill him.
Okay.
That decided to protect him and take him, take him.
That's the Bob character.
Yes.
So Bob is his robot father.
Yes.
Father figure.
Mm-hmm. And he's the one that he's been a mercenary since he's been 9 or 10 since he's been able to hold a gun. Like the first time he meets Rose, when you read the first story of Rose, that's when you find out that when she was left for dead on a little asteroid by the pirates, he's the one that found her with her dad when he was a kid, saved her, and gave her that arm.
Interesting. Is her arm is that tied into Nat's arm?
No.
Is it different?
No.
It's different.
Her arm is cybernetic. It's a cybernetic arm.
And what's his arm?
His arm is that's his skin.
That's his skin.
Yes.
The blue is his skin.
Yeah, that's not a robot arm.
Okay.
That's part of him.
It definitely looks kind of like Cable-esque,
No, it's part of him. I'm not gonna say too much.
I know.
Spoilers.
I know. All right.
You know more, but we're not gonna say.
I know more, but I'm poking and prodding to see what you'll actually tell the listeners.
I'm listening, Steve.
Well, yeah, but you can't spoil Gat's books, but if you want to spoil your own books,
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, let's switch to something else. Oh, let's show the fan art that we got today.
Oh yeah, so you've already that's right. You said you already got some fan art.
Yeah, by Chris Ari.
From Nat.
Yeah, Chris's piece was really good. I saw that.
Yeah, let's make this a little bit bigger here. There we go. Make that full screen. Man, he's got a lot of detail in there.
Yeah, it's a great little. I'm really happy about it. He posted Sim, do you want fan art for the Natverse? I'm like, hell yeah.
Well, who's gonna say? What kind of silly question is that? Who's gonna say no? I don't want. Don't do any fan art.
Yeah, it's a silly question. Yeah, but Chris has been putting some good art up lately.
Mm-hmm.
Been turning my head a little bit, doing good work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had no idea that he was such artist. And like you said, he's been posting some stuff lately. It's getting me to take notice that dude's got some chops there.
Yeah. Came out of the blue for me. I knew
that
who Cat was, but I didn't know that was his deal. I can draw.
That's a Simon Bisley sketch that from the 2012 series that I was publishing.
What you got a Bisley sketch of Nat?
Mm-hmm.
What? Make that a little bit. Can you zoom in on that a little bit? Make that bigger.
Blow it shit up.
There we go. Look at that shit.
Yeah,
dude. How psyched were you when you got that?
I was fucking psyched. He did Wolf Dragon too, and I'll show you after. But yeah,
it's cool.
I asked him like, dude, he knows I'm a big fan of his. I used to see him like every year, like when I used to go to Comic Con in Montreal, and he used to be there often. He stopped coming for a while. But dude, when I asked him, he goes, "Yeah, I will," because I love that character. He even bought my book. It's technically a trade-off.
That's awesome.
At all. Yeah, it's badass.
Mm-hmm. And here's a sample of what's going to be in CG Jumpstart.
Spoilers. Here we go.
Yep, here it is.
So here's the full colored and lettered version of the first page.
Man, your colors are really coming together, Sim.
I've been busting my ass to up my game, and it takes a while because I'm still in experimenting mode. But I think I finally found a way of coloring my work without taking away from the line work.
Mm-hmm.
I think I finally found it. I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, because I mean, your line work stands on its own very, very well. So I can see how it would be difficult to get the colors in there without overwhelming the piece.
And this is how all the stories of NAT always started, somewhere in space. I'm just
hey, gotta have that iconic intro, man. I like that.
It's how I used to always do it in all the other when I used to publish before NAT in Zidara, and when I did it myself in English. I used to always start it like somewhere in space.
So, and then your bro David did the letters for this, right?
Yes, and he knocked it out of the park.
I was gonna say I like it. He's very dynamic with what he's doing there.
Wait till you see the other spoiler. Ready, Steve?
I guess. Damn it.
Oh, holy cow! Yeah, I love the. Yeah, he's got different fonts and different colors and everything on there.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to like the main characters to have their own fonts, right? And I wanted Nat to have his own bubbles at the same time. Like he's the only one that's gonna have the on black, right?
Yeah.
And when it's a narration, right, or thinking it's really squared, and you just round up the size for the bubbles. But as you can see, there's no bubbles in there really. They're all squarish. And that's something I picked up from European and UK type of, like 2000 AD and heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
They used to do that often more than bubbles because it makes it a bit more economic on where you can place them.
Yeah, you end up with bubbles a lot of time. You end up covering up a lot of artwork.
Mm-hmm. So here you have one of the big scenes when he comes in, so you can see he doesn't mess around.
Oh, nice! I like the little barrel roll he's doing there.
I like to put animation.
Tuck and roll.
Mm-hmm. And I like how he did it, like those nice little hell yeah.
Yeah, like I said, he's David's got a real dynamic feel. It's not just a plain old font and circle. He's got hell yeah popping out at you.
Yeah. I think the brothers actually. I think Dave's SFX are really, really good. And then, I like their approach to having. They've got the soldiers or whatever the hell you call them, Sim, that are always in red, and Nat's always in this kind of
Blood Fang crew.
Yeah.
So it's a visual storytelling with lettering.
Yeah.
So you know that every time they're red like this, right? They all have the same font, but they're red. They're part of the crew of the pirates.
He may have sent me a first version of this that was a little over the top with it, and I was like, maybe about 10% less fonts, maybe. But this here I think is really good. Yeah.
With the colors, it just blends well. Because when I sent it first, it was just on black and white with colored lettering, right? So what we did is as soon as you put it on color, it just blends well. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I like that he's using different colors. Like Steve said, for the pirates, they're all in red there. It gives everything a different voice. Looking over at the chat here, Martin Young says, so 2000 AD, love. So he's picking up what you're laying down there, Sim.
Thanks.
Volt Cobalt is admiring the color work on the stars. I know the cockpit panel it's still just it's absolutely
Oh,
gorgeous.
dude, and Steve will tell you, and Adam can tell you. Just this panel took me the time to do a full page almost. It took me a week or two because I really, really, really OCD'd on that one.
Yeah, you did. I watched that whole panel come together, and I was just like, "Damn, that looks good." Then you show it to me again. I'm like, "Damn, that looks even better." And then
Yeah.
more. It's like, Jesus, Sim, are you ever going to stop? Are you going to move on to the rest of the comic? Or are you just going to draw this
Yeah.
panel for
But-
all eternity?
But I was still practicing coloring, and I learned a lot. And thanks to Kyle Ritter gave me a few advice in the beginning with my Blood Hunt cover, right? It was
Mhm.
Passion for Drawing that gave me a few pointers too. They helped a lot. There's Scottman, and now there's Scottman, and there's Michael Beacon, and we like to hang out and just work, and we help each other push up our game, you could say.
Well, yeah. I know it's kind of cool. You get together with all these different talents, and with like Hangouts or and even Discord.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially like working in a studio, where you're
Yeah.
surrounded by talent, and you're like, somebody looks at what you're doing and goes, "Why don't you tweak it just a little bit here, and do this with the lighting?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, that would. Oh wow, that really makes it pop."
I would do this with a highlight, a bit more highlight. Oh, dude, that was pissing me off. Thank you. Yeah. And you've been there when we do our little discords there. We just watch cartoons or movies and just draw.
Yeah. We got an interesting comment here. Go back to the cockpit panel, would you?
Yep. Boom.
Oh,
So Cryptic Comics says, I have one minor complaint about the cockpit panel. The dots on the dice, opposite sides of a six-sided die, should add up to 7.
damn.
The what?
That's an astute viewer and possibly
That is. I was gonna say
yeah.
possible gambler in the house
Possibly
there.
gambler, yeah.
That's like when you when we were going over this page and I told you on his glasses, I was like, you need to reverse the lettering because it should read forward for him and backwards to the reader on the lens.
Mm-hmm.
But good call there,
good.
Cryptic.
That's a good note. The thing you got to know about Sim Cryptic is he actually does have to redraw me one panel of Crash Course because we actually use our right foot on the accelerator pedal, not the left. So that's the thing about Sim.
I did that.
Yes, you did that.
Oh well, Sim doesn't drive. I don't know if you know this, but Sim doesn't drive. So
Well, I'm a gearhead, dude. It's been prodding me, bugging me, and me and Gat were talking. We're like, he's got to move that toe to the other side of the foot. That's all there is to it. Should be fairly simple, I'm hoping you can do it without too much stress, Sim. But we're going to require that.
Just remind me when I hit the last the B in the book tier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, actually, I think it may be on. I'd have to look. It may be on that page. No, you're doing it before that, Sim. I need it tomorrow.
It's always the same.
And here we go. We've got another
I need
question.
something. Can you do this for me? Yeah. When you need it. 2 weeks
Yesterday.
ago?
Yeah, yesterday, Sam. It's always yesterday. You should know the answer to that. Flycan wants to know what's the story with Nat's chest hair or insignia.
Yeah, that's his hair, and it's in the shape of his ship and his logo. Yeah, he's that vain.
So he's actually he's waxed his hair to look like that.
Does he wax, or does it just be like that?
That's just how it grows.
Yes.
It's like,
This is how it grows.
it's like Superman's spit curl, but kind of I don't know.
It all has a reason.
All has a reason. I don't doubt that because of the amount of background and world building that you've put into this story. I mean, obviously you've been working on it for over a decade now.
Yeah, that one and Wolf Dragon are my little babies. Blood Hunt was like a fun project that I wanted to do, right? And so is Skullbusters and a few others, right? But those are the ones that I've been working for like you said, a decade. That one and Wolf Dragon.
You always get the best stories when you work on them that long because of the amount of time and effort and thought that you put into it. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, not that there's anything. I mean, Blood Hunt's a great story from start to finish. It's exciting. It's fun. But like you said, it was something that you were just like, I want to have fun and do a badass
Yeah.
vampire story. Whereas this
It-
was like, you know, this is your baby. This is your
Mhm.
firstborn.
Well, it
This
doesn't.
is
You
my
know,
baby.
to me, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but I'm going to take the time context out of it because, you know, I mean, the more you work on something, you know, it's like Vault's in the chat, I think, and he's got a really great project going. And he was like, "What do you think? Is that the final?" And I'm like, "I think that's the final for now, Vault. It's really good, but you're going to write, rewrite, and rewrite this thing.
Mhm.
You're going to, you know, you're always going to want to circle back around to it. You might be out mowing the damn yard or something, and you'll have a thought and jump down and jot it down and get it in there, and then you're going to, you know, you're going to eventually get a proof of your comic. You're going to want to rewrite something there. Spatially, it'll look a little bit differently than it did on the screen when you do the PD. You always write, rewrite, and rewrite. So,
Mhm.
you know,
It,
projects that are that process instead of, you know, by the
it was one of
numbers.
the big.
Really
It
good.
was one of the best advice that Michael Turner gave me is the finish not perfect thing. Because when you get stuck in the loop that you want everything to be perfect, you'll never put anything out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you know I pushed myself to do Wool Dragon in 2009, and then NAT the MERC, and I put it out there, so it's alive, it's there, right? So I
Yeah.
just need to build on it, and that's what I was.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, yeah. And it's a continual process. I mean, even when we had the hard proof in our hands, GAT we were making changes on, you know, adding a couple of things, subtracting a couple of things. You know, we did that with the first letterer's proof because when we saw how the letterer's proof worked with what the art we had, you know, it brought to mind ways to make it better. So it's all part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
The Mogwai Centurion Hail Brother, thank you for joining us tonight. He says genetically enhanced body hair to meet a purpose.
Yeah, you should jot that down, Sim, and put it in your campaign page. That's pretty good.
I like that. Oh, we got Common Mark in the chat. Hail, comrade.
Hey, comrade. Hello, everyone that's joining. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for coming out tonight.
Yeah.
So this is coming after the magazine launches, right? Then you're doing this Tales of the Natverse, correct?
This is launching in April. Yeah.
Okay.
It's this is a collection of all the short story that was published before of Nat and Rose, and the last one was not published yet. It's the Battle Royale where you meet Queen Ulrika, and they all play a part in the Nat story.
Wait a minute. The Battle Royale, you had that on the first Blood Hunt campaign, didn't you?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a tease. You were at the end. You were gonna meet Nat.
Oh, awesome. So this is like your typical greatest hits album. You've got, the previously released stuff, and then of course the one hit single that no one's ever heard before or seen in this case.
If the campaign does well, I will also do that short story of Loani that will be added to it.
Oh, so that'll be a stretch goal.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's the page count on this going to be then?
Right now it's at 64. Yeah.
Damn, you're always just going big with your campaigns, aren't you?
Yeah, you need to cap that shit. So.
Oh, I will, and it is part of the project. I told you I am capping them at 48, starting after it's 48, starting at 48. But right now, it's just because I want to have all those short stories in. And
no, I think you're fine with that page count, and I think that's a really interesting way to do the project. And I think it's also an example of you're a guy that's published comics before and has been working for this thing for a while, and you've got a body of work behind you, and that's something that maybe not everybody coming into it understands, and you're gonna have to build that body of work. And so I think it's solid, Sam. I think you're fine.
And I see it as a complementary, to CG Jumpstart. CG Jumpstart is like It's me bringing Nat the Merc back to CG, right?
Mhm.
Right on.
And launching that is you get everything that happened before, and it's all linked because all those short stories, the way I planned it before, and I've told Steve this, it was all planned to be introduction. It was like, here's the first story of Nat, right? Here's a little glimpse of a part of his origin, right? And then you have a little short story introducing another one of his friends with him, and then you had a story with Rose, and then another one of his friends, and then you met Loani, and then I was going to the book. So what I'm doing right now is catching everything up. I'm gonna hire my bro to redo the lettering because you guys convinced me, and I'm giving everything to you there, and it's all linked to it's all part of what's coming. So it's kind of me making you catch up to what's happening now, right?
So then what I guess what does the future hold then for Nat? You know, what is your plan to just do this, you know, forever and ever?
Mm-hmm.
I guess this is the story that never ends.
Exactly. It's miniseries after miniseries. It's they're all 3 parts, 2 parts miniseries. They're all planned like that. I actually had 6 planned. Yeah, minimum.
Nice.
It's planned to be an ongoing. It's a Merc in space. It's the Michael Turner, when I met him, he goes, "You need to stop trying to be an artist for the mainstream. You need to create your own thing and try and find something that you can do everything that you would like with Superman, or like let's say you're a big fan of Superman and Batman. Well, create a character that will cover all those superhero aspects."
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I have something called the Everheart Chronicles, and I told him about it, and inside there was a character called the Wolf Dragon, and he goes, "Guy, fuck that title. That the book's called the Wolf Dragon, and you're working on it now." And the premise of the Tales from the Everard Chronicles was the fact that it was a bit more like in the fantasy world, right? So you go take that, bring that to here, and now call that Wolf Dragon, and I want to see you tomorrow with 3 page later. And I'm like, done. So I went up to my room and I stayed there like nonstop. I went down. I was half dead. You saw me there. You made me pass in front of everybody. Look at my page. It goes, dude, you got the stuff. See you next year.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And I met him like that 4 times in a row.
That's high praise right there.
But it's one of the biggest advice that you can tell artists or creators. It's finished, not perfect. Get it out there. You can tweak it and fix it after. Worst come to shove, you can't really fuck it up, right? If you really care about it, just put it out there.
That you bring up a really interesting point there. Why would you, as a creative person, why would you want to play with someone else's toys, i.e., Superman, Batman, when you can go out there and create something new and something special to you that you have complete control over, that you can do what you want with?
And you're not limited. You're limited by your own rules that you set when you start. Like Wolf Dragon is everything fantasy mythology, everything I love from the Knights of the Round Table, everything I love about magic, and Nat is everything I love about sci-fi. And if I could just do those 2 characters all my life and a few other projects just for fun, but that's what I want to do, and that's why I'm doing this. Like I have a whole bunch of projects I want to do, but dude, Nat is the one that it's gonna. It's not a one shot.
Yeah, we can circle back around to a whole bunch of projects soon if you want to publicly, but you need to focus on this. I'm voting with old Michael Turner, R.I.P. I think this is Anyway, we've had that conversation. I want to talk about the. I don't necessarily agree, Adam, with the people that say all the stories about Superman have been told.
No.
I think that at one point a guy named Alan Moore came along and wrote the definitive Superman story at the end of a Superman arc that had never been told before. So I think that disproves that theory, and I could give another dozen examples, but I'm not trying to be that geeky right now. However, on the flip side of that, you're never going to own that shit.
Exactly.
You're never going to own that. So yes, why wouldn't you pour your passion into something that you have ownership of and control of. So that part of the equation, I completely agree with.
Yeah, I mean, it's, it would be a dream come true if I could actually get on, the flagship Batman title just once and go hog wild and write the Batman story I want. But like you said, in the end, you don't own that. DC Comics is
Yeah.
probably always going to own it.
You can
That's
also
kind of up for debate at this point in time. But
you can do like Frank Miller. They told him no for his Batman story that ended up being what is it, Holy Terror?
Yeah.
You can have your Batman story and just tell it with another character guy, and it's a Batman story.
Yeah. Well, and Alan Moore did the same thing with the Watchmen. That was he took all those characters from
all the Charlton characters.
Charlton, thank you, Charlton characters, and they were like, no, we don't want you to kill off all these characters. We just got rights to use, and he's like, okay, well, we'll just tweak them and make them my own, and boom, the Watchmen was born. One of the most iconic comic books of all time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Frank Miller is obviously another example of, Batman stories have been written for 6 decades or something.
And he comes in with the Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah. So, don't tell me it's all been done before, because it hasn't. But you're still back to,
that's one of the books. That's one of the books that made me pass that curve of going, I want to do that all my life. The Dark Knight Return was one of them.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely.
I've always been into comics, but reading The Dark Knight Returns made me believe that we can pretty much tell all type of stories and real stories, and not just campy Batman shit. And I'm like, dude, I want to do that all my life. I don't want to do nothing else but doing comics and movies and stuff, because it's all related.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hail the Wizard.
Hail, brothers, hail.
What's up, man?
Well, I'm hearing old Steve die talking about how he doesn't think all the Superman stories have been told. Where I don't know, I kind of disagree with him, to be honest with you. I think every Superman story's been told. I think every Batman story's been told. I think they can only go down from here, right? Now, do I think I could write a Superman or Batman story that would be halfway cool? Yeah, I could probably do it. But at this point, what's the fucking point? They've driven this shit into the ground. It's, you gave a couple examples. How am I going to outdo fucking Frank Miller? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty goddamn good when it comes to writing my own shit, right? But when it comes to compete with guys who've wrote those characters at the highest possible level, dude, it's time to fucking go somewhere else, man. It's time to do our own thing. You know that? That's what I'm thinking. It's time to fucking say fuck DC, fuck Marvel, fuck all this bullshit they want to shove down our throats, and to do our own thing. And what you'll see is the main thing we have going for us in the long run for ComicsGate, if people really establish our IPs, it will be continuity, because now we can start from the fucking beginning and build something worth fucking reading.
Fuck yeah.
Yep. And that's my thoughts exactly, brother.
We're also in a part of the comic book industry that we've never been before. Like all creators, like I'll say like artists, okay, just writers. It's not it's not the same icons experience, but us trying to sell our art, right? Everybody, we would try and sell our creation, and people would go, "Do you have Batman? Do you have Superman? Oh, do you have a Spider-Man?" And we'll all be like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
And now
that's got to kill an artist. Yeah, that's got to kill an artist.
Now, though, they open our thing and they would see like a Batman or a Superman sketch. Goes, do you have your own thing? That's where we are now. It's that people want to see our own thing, and it's fucking amazing.
They're hungry for new content, man. They're starving for it, because I mean, I gotta agree with Gad a little bit here. I think a lot of those iconic stories with those characters have been told, and people want to see something new.
But it's the reason why they keep changing the character core a bit, tweaking it just so they can tell new stories. So in a way, I agree that you could tell a good Superman story that hasn't been told.
But you're going to end up changing the character.
Exactly.
Here's an example.
Or
so this
else
Three
like
Jokers shit, right, guys? This Three Jokers shit. It's derivative of some shit of the Batman from the 90s. They're just basically rebooting it and telling it from a Fifi side. You know that? Like, dude, we don't need that again. We don't need another #1. We don't need to reboot fucking Batman again or fucking, like, dude, stop.
One of the biggest
stop.
One of the things that pissed me off lately is you guys know how much I love Inkle and Meta Baron, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Mark Zaid is at fucking Humanoid now, retelling the fucking Inkle.
Is he really? I don't pay a damn one lick of attention to what that man does.
And it looks like shit.
Well,
I just know what we're doing here in ComicsGate. We have a chance to establish something new and better, I think, going forward. So, like I said, the main thing is we got our own cool characters, we got our own cool ideas, and we have continuity. People aren't going to be confused when they read our books.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
And this is, it's all part of the fun thing. Like Vestige is the same thing. They're setting up a universe. It's all going to be continuous. Like, the more they build, it's all going to be linked. You're going to discover how everything's intermingled, right?
Yeah.
Dude, he told me a few things that he has planned, and dude, I can't wait. Like, I'm really stoked about getting that fucking book, dude.
Yeah, man, it's coming, brothers. I got another week, I think, before I can really like enjoy myself, and then everything's gonna be fucking a shitstorm around here. So.
Are you wading through shipping supplies yet?
Not yet. At this point, we're making kind of the final determination between if we're going with gold bags or silver bags. I'm just going to kind of check out the fit, and then at that point, we're going to get the supplies here a day or two ahead of the books, the rest of the supplies. So we're just kind of making sure the way we've kind of worked it out is going to work, and we want it to be the best possible fit, So I don't know. We're just gonna be careful with these things, dude. We're making sure these things get to people in pristine fucking condition. Let's put it that way.
That's good. I mean that's you're overprinting, but you don't want to have to waste any of those overprints because shit got fucked up in the mailing process.
Yeah. Here's my plan. Of course, maybe there might be one or two. I don't know. I can't control what happens in the mail, right? But you're not going to hear any complaints coming from our shipping, guaranteed. Let's put it that way.
Awesome. Yeah, if you guys haven't backed Vestige, make sure you still get in on it. I left that link in the description of the video. I want to see Vestige break. Well, let's see. You're sitting at 80,657.
Approaching 81, I think.
Yeah, get close to that 81. I really, really hope that once this starts shipping and getting into people's hands, and they start doing their reviews, that this jumps to 90, if not 100,000.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's going to sound greedy, but I'd love to be in the Six Figures Young Lady Club, right? That's what everyone in CG pretty much aspires for. And yeah, man, I want to get there. I'd love to see us get there. I mean, it's going to take a lot of more books sold, but I think once people get these things in their hand, and then they realize that this thing isn't going to be reprinted, the Caesar cover's never, ever going to be reprinted again. If we do a Vestige reprint, it's going to be an alternate cover. So,
and I'd still probably buy that just for the alternate cover.
I'm sure you guys are going to braid that Six Lady as soon as, look, if it's not before. But as soon as people start getting those books and people start reviewing, it's I will impress you so bad that you will talk about it, that people will go, I want this shit.
Exactly.
Well, I hope so. I hope that's the reaction from people, I think it will be. I'm pretty confident about what I got here. But we'll see. It's up to you guys to decide.
I'm so excited.
I mean, all I hear fucking Dan and Johnny Boy they won't shut up about the fucking book.
Yeah,
so.
I know, right?
Like I said, they got the red carpet treatment. I did hear rave reviews from both Dan and Johnny. Consider the source. I mean, there are guys. Let's be honest. That's what they're fucking war campaigners. But that being said, I also trust their judgment, and I think if it was horrible, they would have told me.
Yeah, I think if it was shit, they would have said it was shit. And they actually, that was a pretty good reaction from those. Yeah, there definitely are guys, but. Yeah, I'm with Gat. We've obviously been looking at it, reading it, and rereading it, and fixing little things and all that for a while. And then, have a couple of solid dudes get it and go, yeah, brothers, you've done it.
I think the more concerning thing would be if there was just silence,
Yeah.
They get the book and it's just like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it was just nice to get it into a reader's hands, even if it was just two of our guys with a British proof copy.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, I'm looking forward to all the people that do reviews to review it. I can't wait to hear what people have to say. I'll probably do my first biggest thing I'm looking forward to. What's that, brother?
So I'll probably do my first ever review of it.
Great, yeah, man, I can't wait. Yeah, do it, Sam, brother. I want everyone who has a channel, if they have the book, review it. Let the world know what you think, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have a channel, just you can upload a short video on Twitter, just you know, giving your thoughts.
I don't care. Whoever wants to do it, yeah, man. That's the biggest thing. Like I'm really hyped to be able to talk to people who bought the book about the universe and the story. Like once people have read it, I'll be able to talk about the goddamn thing finally. So
you know, brother Chris Evans, he just started streaming not too long ago, right? He did his first little video,
okay.
Yeah. And his plan is to do reviews of CG books.
Yeah, man, that's a great idea, man. I think more people should really do that because I mean, this whole thing kind of we gathered together under these reviews of the industry, right? Zach was putting together his stuff, and everyone was like, "Yeah, we all agree with Zach." I feel like that's another way to kind of keep people together. We start reviewing our own books. It's only going to help, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Not only will it help with positive feedback or even negative feedback, constructive criticism, whatever you want to call it. People need to hear what others think about their product. That's important in order to make it better the next time. So
positive or negative feedback is feedback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get to choose which one you listen to or ignore.
I started doing reviews all the time, and I completely fell off that train. And when I was doing reviews, though, I'd say what I liked about the book and try to be completely fair. You're like, I love this, but this part, like,
One of the things that's most disturbing about this, whatever the fuck this culture has evolved into, where criticism is somehow some sort of aggression, totally misses out on is that criticism is a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I've obviously seen this book. I'm a fan of this book. I think it's great. And I think it's going to get really good reviews. But if it gets a critical review, maybe the guy's got a point. It's not a fucking bad thing to listen to people say, you could improve your game in this area, and then, now we have this culture where you can't, objectively or subjectively say this comic is bullshit without,
people going
crazy. This is CG. We're supposed to have more of a fucking backbone,
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's only going to help people. Like I personally, I'm not going to do reviews, and I don't criticize people within CG's work. I won't do it personally. That's just what I just don't know. I just don't want to do it. Right. Probably because I'll be overly critical of people, but that's just me. But so it's better to keep your mouth shut if you don't have anything good to say. Right. So I'm not going to review people's shit. The only thing I tend to say about people is positive things about their work. Anyone I work with, obviously I like their work, right? So that's positive enough. But, even other guys, the people we bring on the channel, random people, man, if I don't have nothing good to say, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not going to shoot down a CG guy. Someone out there trying, I'm just not going to do it, man. I'd rather just shut my mouth.
That's why I made that comment just about, you'd have more concern if there was just crickets. Sometimes not saying anything says a lot.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't want to shit on you, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. It's like,
I think that's better for someone who's a creator, though. You know that? Because I can't. The first time I open my mouth and I criticize someone else's campaign, you know what it's going to be? Old Gat in the War campaign, they're attacking small creators again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just really not going to say nothing. I'll talk to creators in private, and that's generally where my interaction with people is. That way, if I do have criticism, I can explain it properly, right? And it's for the best, right? It's coming from a good place, at least.
Hell to all the brothers out there that actually hang in there and fight that fight on the Twitter front lines. But I'm just so sick of hearing about how War Campaign's shitting on small creators, and we've done nothing but prop up small creators since the very beginning. I just, and also like Gat says, if you're involved in some kind of creative work, it's maybe not your place to comment on what another creator's doing. But if you're out there as a fan or as a consumer, then it's totally your place to comment.
Exactly.
Work campaign that just prop up. They also back. They're clients first of all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, people don't understand. A lot of people really don't understand what War Campaign actually is. They still don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
and we can't explain
it
anymore. It's actually, I'm like tired of even talking about it at this point. You know that?
Yeah.
It's like fucking dude. Every day there's another nitwit. It's like you're talking small creators, and we could literally set a list. The list is a mile long of people we've promoted. The list is a mile long who we've literally gave money to. The list is a mile long who we've hired to work on projects. The list is a mile long who we've included in CG Jumpstart, right? Yeah. Of nothing. Yeah. This is all to help people. You know what I mean? And people want to conveniently forget all the money that we've poured into this shit, all the creators we've hired, all the fucking, and not even just creators, just random people, you know? Dude, just so much money we've poured in. The Cecil cover, right? Like, we're the biggest backer, the number one biggest backer of Cecil. No one else can claim that. Yeah. You know? So, dude, I don't want to hear it no more from anyone.
It's stupid. It's stupid. A lot of people like complain. Like once there's a guy that came like on one of the streams that I was on. He was complaining like, yeah, but there's those 6 guys. They're always fucking coming after me. I'm like, dude, 6, and you're talking about War Campaign in general.
Yeah.
Well, and half the time it's not even like when I think, okay, War Campaign is Gat, Ro, Pan, and Tai. That's War Campaign. Everybody else is a Centurion that does whatever the fuck they want to do whenever they want to do it.
Exactly.
Bottom line. I mean, that is the bottom line. There are 4 War Campaign guys and everybody else below them. So unless one of those 4 guys is actually coming at you in some way, it's just another fan that happens to fly the flag. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yep.
And not one of us has ever gone after a small creator. Let's put it that way. Not including Pan. That's the thing. Now, if people want to say they'll bring up Preston Poulter or Pussyianopolis, well, these dudes came fucking asking for it. It's totally different for us to kind of be like, hey, fuck you after you're already out there lying, right? So, I mean, everyone knows the story behind those dudes. We're not going to rehash it, but it's like there's also we're not stupid either. And even to me, like I mute these dudes, I ignore them. You know, I don't really care. But there's times where I even speak up about some of the absurd shit they say, dude, because you can't let everything go. Right.
Yeah. No, you can't. Eventually it's like, all right, I got to say my piece. But then you say your piece and you get out.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you know, there's a JDA. I mean, there's all types of the old War Campaign entities, right? Yeah. So.
What Gat's saying is, I mean, that's kind of my deal with it at this point, you know. I mean, I may be relegated to 5th Beatle status, but I've been in War Campaign since month 1, and fucking, I've seen all of this, you know. I've lived through all of it, and I remember most of it, you know. And there's a lot of it I'd sooner not remember. There's a lot of it that's fucking beautiful and that I love, and it was fucking great. But, you know, we've had the Summer of Love. We've had the Ides of March. We've had the winter of our discontent. You know, eventually, just like we're you know, me and Gad are going to make some damn books, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. That's like what I'm focused on right now. Yeah, I mean, my projects are, 90% done as far as this year. Who else can say that?
Yeah.
This guy's 18 stock account, 200.
Yeah, I love this. Nella possessed 6 guys, 18 stock accounts, 217 Russian bots.
Yeah. It was that simple, right? And that's the War Campaign.
Yep. We did have a question here that I wanted to bring up from Tungsten EXE says, please ask Gat, can I top up the shipping so that he can send the package to me with tracking number? Shipping to my country is expensive. I can top up.
I don't understand what he's really asking there. He wants
the Deluxe Express with tracking. He's offering how much can he send you extra money so you can do the extra shipping because it can get expensive and he doesn't want it to get.
You're opening Pandora's box. If I let you do that, brother, then I got to offer that to anyone internationally almost. And dude, it's already going to be a clusterfuck shipping. What we're doing now is, we're shipping it first class. International, I believe that's what it's called. So I mean, this
shouldn't be a problem,
what that
man.
means in your country, right? I don't know where you're from, where you live. I don't know exactly what your mailing's like there, but I mean, from our end, these things are going to get you. I mean, it should be good, brother. Like, it shouldn't be no issue.
It shouldn't be a problem. We're going top line international shipping, so
He
it
says,
shouldn't be a problem.
He understands.
Yeah.
It's just, man, this is the first time I've ever done this stuff, brother. So, if we can make it simple and streamline it, that's what I need to do, right?
Yeah,
I need to cut down on whatever original mistakes we make. I know I'm going to be taking extra precaution with the people who bought the original art, so I'll be sending those out in separate boxes. But that's only because people have spent the money for the original art. I want that original art to come to them also in pristine condition, right? So I'm going to take care with those packages.
The only thing in this whole situation that I cannot...
Go ahead.
Get.
No, you go ahead.
I just wanted to say, the only thing that the only thing in this whole situation that I can't control is Gat's actual performance maneuvering all these boxes into his house. But I have utmost confidence in that. Beyond that, we've researched this thing 12 ways from Sunday, 24 ways from Sunday, shipping weights, best way, and we've picked that absolute best option, the best possible way we can do it for the consumer every time. Shipping's going to eat us up, but we're going to make sure everybody gets it straight up.
Stu is asking, international will come with tracking automatically, don't it? No, it doesn't. It's an extra little fee.
Yeah, that does cost extra.
Yeah,
Mogwai Centurion is volunteering to come over and help you, Gat.
I think thankfully I'm going to have a little help. Here's my plan. Okay, I'll give you guys my plan. So these things are going to show up. I'm going to move them into my house somehow, some way. I'm going to make them fit. At that point, I'm going to start from the top tier down. So the people who ordered the original art, I'm going to take care of those 10 people first. Then I'm going to move down to the second tier up, which is the head sketch tier.
Passion's got a good note.
I've just seen that. Don't use the comics as roll papers, Gat.
No, I only smoked once, brother. No worries. But yeah, anyway, so this is what I'm doing. So I'm going from the top down. The head sketch tier is next, so those 100 people will have their stuff packaged next. I'm really going to try to knock those off in the first go. At that point, that's where I just work my way down tiering wise. So 2 books, poster sticker tier, 2 book tier. Then there's 1 book poster sticker tier. I don't know. I'm going to do it by tiering levels. So that's my plan. So if you just bought the book, I'm sorry. There's about, I think, 800 or 900 of you that just bought the single book tier. You're going to be waiting to the end. And I mean, it's going to be easier for me, honestly. And the way I look at it, the guys who spent $500 on this shit, I mean, they're just going to get their shit first. Sorry.
I mean, I feel like most customers would understand. Yeah. I mean, you're shipping what? I just looked at the number. You've got over 1,400 backers that you've got to ship packages out to. I mean, there's no simple way to do that on your.
No.
Most people with that large of campaigns are using like fulfillment centers and shit. But I mean, you are handling these motherfuckers with care.
I am. Yeah. Well, this is my baby, right? So, there's no way I could foresee me handing this off to a fulfillment company. You know that? I just can't do it. I want to make sure people get this thing. I mean, look, I want them to buy a vested shoe, right? It's the whole thing. If I give this to a fulfillment company, and the fulfillment company fucks stuff up, it's going to be a lot of unhappy people. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to do that with my business ever. So, if you want to do it right, you got to do it yourself.
Hey,
that's what I was taught.
That motto exists for a reason.
Yeah.
Wooster in the chat says, "Thank goodness, one of my tiers is the dual double book." So,
well, I mean, that's one school of thought would be that you send it out to the the biggest number of backers tier first. You know, I mean, you could make that argument either way, but I'm with Gat. You know, I mean, I really, really appreciate the people that did the 2-book tier, and got the add-ons or got drawn into the book.
Let me be clear, though, this is purely for my benefit. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's fair. Customer-wise, still fair, but it's purely for my benefit. In order to do this correctly, I'm going to take care of the main stuff first and work my way down. It's just logic, is what you call that.
3D Robin agrees with you. Says it's a good move to ship the top tiers first.
Hell, brother.
Vault wants to know: are you going to update daily with packages sent?
Probably not.
Come on, Vault, get out of here.
I might be like, when the first couple tiers are out, I'll probably tweet a picture. Or
we're only talking about a week or so's swing anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do this. Like I talked to a couple creators privately who'd always gone through this, and they say it takes a little longer than when I was expecting to do this in. I'm gonna really bust my ass.
Gat's gonna go at it like he's killing snakes.
A week to, if I can get this done, that's what I'm gonna do. So.
Do like the narwhal method where he takes a picture of himself with a bunch of boxes surrounding him and says that he's actually fulfilling when he's just sitting on his ass, and then he posts another picture of a stack of boxes in front of the closet door, and it says that his old lady's behind the door and he won't let her out.
There you go.
Yeah. Marketing.
No, I'm seriously though, because we're moving on to Jumpstart soon. The sooner I get these out, the sooner we can kind of get started on Jumpstart. So. I'm planning on doing 3 books this year. We're putting out Jumpstart, and then Bullet Maker Vestige. We'll see, which one of those comes, but those are all 3 are coming out this year. Spring launch, summer launch, fall launch. There you go.
Yeah, if anybody wasn't here 2 weeks ago when we had the show, Gat did announce that Vestige 2 will be launching towards the end of the year, fall.
Yeah.
Or maybe sooner. We'll see.
Well, that's what I'm saying. At this point, I don't, it's whatever projects I can get going first. It's like I think Bullet Maker has a bit of a head start, and more than likely it'll be first. But there's a small chance, I mean, it's this is a business, so as soon as we have one of those ready to go, I'm getting it colored, and that's what I'm launching. Let's put it that way.
Vault wants to know who's taking the shipping bullet on CG Jumpstart. Gat again?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, these are your babies.
And like I didn't volunteer, so whatever.
By the time we're shipping that thing, I'll be moved. I'm moving to a different house, so it'll be a little easier, I think. Let's put it that way. Where I'm at now, it's going to be a fucking pain in my ass.
Okay.
I volunteered. He could offload, but yeah.
The $1 million question, and I already know the short answer, but we'll go ahead and address this anyway. Wooster says, "Who is the artist on Vestige 2?" Z-Russ wants to know, is it still Donald?
Spoilers.
There's your answer. That is the answer. Let's see. Riot Kitty says, I don't know if this is off topic, however. Oh, you muted? Well, that was the perfect answer, though, for who's working on Vestige 2, just crickets.
Yeah, spoilers.
Yeah.
I lost disconnection through my Wi-Fi, and so my answer was, I'm not going to tell you yet.
Yeah.
How about that? People are wondering, they're wondering if it's Donald, right? But we're not going to reveal that yet.
I thought it was perfect that the question was posted and you just went silent. And I was like, that's a great answer.
It was actually perfect timing for my Wi-Fi.
It was.
Yeah, Panboy's saying spoilers too.
Hail, Panboy.
That Pan.
Hail, brother Pan.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to save that for a war campaign night. We'll announce the artist. Sorry, brothers.
Yeah, that's way too big of an announcement.
I do give away a lot of spoilers here, right? But not this one.
Ring Around the Posy. Hail, thank you for joining us. Says, hoping for Joe. You can hope. Chat jumped on me. Sorry there. Mogwai says it will be doodle bags. You guys could, this is like You can guess all you want, but
yeah, I'm not gonna say. I can't say.
Ain't gonna.
It's a good guess though. You never know. I guess I can tell you that. I mean, I don't know. No, you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let people think.
Spoilers. Fuck that shit.
It's not Joe Ball, obviously, though, because he's doing Bullet Maker. So
yeah, he's good, but he ain't that good. I mean, he is that good, but he's not that quick.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He can't do. Yeah, he's not going to be able to do both books this year. So yeah, Joe's doing Bullet Maker for sure. Like I said, these are both coming out this year regardless. So, yeah, bro, it's not Joe Ball. Let's put it that way.
Oh, Zayd in the chat. God damn, this thing keeps jumping on me every time I try to click something. Zayd says, about to head into shipping as well. Just got the proof of Magic Cop in hand.
Hell,
awesome, dude. I can't wait to get that.
Good luck to you, too.
Yeah, man. It's a good feeling to get that proof in your hands. Hell, Brandon.
I'm looking at mine right now.
Boys. Yeah, good job, boys.
Let's see. We got Clumsy Boy in the chat. Hail, Clumsy Boy. Says, is it going to be launched as single cover or going to have more than one?
Is he referring to Jumpstart?
I would assume so. I think so.
Well,
yeah, just one cover on Jumpstart. Yeah. It's the Andrew Huerta cover, which it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, Steve, you want to shoot?
Seems like an opportune time.
I was going to say that's a perfect fucking segue.
I think I'm sharing. Tell me if I'm not.
Not yet.
Well, shit.
It's the button at the bottom. It says share screen.
I know how the hell it works.
It's right next to the button that says Boomer.
I know where it is. I'm trying to do two things at once.
We believe in you.
All right, there we go. All right. Ooh, look at that back cover.
Pretty.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. Fucking 3D Robin knocked that out of the park.
And it's gonna be square bound. Awesome.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be square bound. Yeah.
Magazine
3D Robin.
Magazine size and square bound.
Fuck it, bro. We're spending all the vestige money.
That's why. Okay, now I get it. Wow.
We need people to come out and back this. We need people to come out and back Vestige too. We're spending all the money putting it back into ComicsGate. You know, we need some help with this project. But yeah, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a thing of beauty. But yeah, I got to. That's the 3D Robin. Sorry, Adam, but yeah, 3D Robin. Man, that guy is man. I don't even know how to say it. He's a Swiss Army knife.
He doesn't suck. In his own words, he doesn't suck.
He's got an amazing sense of graphic design that really minces with my sensibilities and GATs. And yeah, I think he's doing a great job. He did a great job with some Vestige work. He's doing a great job with this, and I appreciate.
I'll tell you this: I don't know what people out there in ComicsGate land are expecting at a CG Jumpstart. Like this is going to be just some rinky-dink piece of shit. We got a bunch of pros working on this thing, brothers and sisters out there. This thing, you're going to be able to hold this thing up and show it to people, and they're going to be like, holy fuck, what the hell's ComicsGate?
This is definitely something you're going to want to buy. A whole new world. You're going to want to buy multiple copies of this. One for yourself, one to never touch, and one or two just to hand out to people that love comic books.
I keep saying it's going to be the next best thing since Heavy Metal Magazine and Shonen Jump. They changed the industry, and dude, this is going to be great.
3D Robin saying that I don't know if that's final.
That's up to Gat. Gat can make a call right now. But
well, we were thinking, and we're still deciding whether we're putting the campaign logo on the back or not.
Yeah. Oh, okay. The back cover is still the work in progress, and that's the first time that's the first time that Gat's actually seen the Huerta art inlaid into the logo. I fucking loved it though, so I laid it on the page and PDF'd it for purposes of this. But that's the first time Gat's actually seen it. 3D just popped that over to me about an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half ago.
Oh, perfect timing.
Yeah.
Martin Young asked the ever important question: are you going to do digital so I can save on international?
Martin Young. My name is Gat Hanzo, and I despise anything digital, brother. I will never, anything I do will never be digital, ever. ever.
It's called a get
ever. And it's not because I hate you and you know what I mean? It's just comic books are for print. That's what they're for. That's what they are intended for. That's what they've always were. You know, just like when people ask me about webcomics, I'm like, yeah, that's cool. You know, whatever. People do your webcomics and shit. I will never do them. That's not what I care about. I care about comic books. There's a difference.
Hail to that.
Yeah, there is. I wish that I wish that there was an answer for the international shipping and that sort of thing, and I understand that plea for justice, and I wish I could do something about it. But ultimately, I totally agree with Gat. And I mean, as an example, I used to subscribe to so many magazines, periodicals, and as they slowly dried up and went digital, I don't go look at. I subscribed to Cycle News for 20 damn years. They still put out a weekly edition, but it's digital, and I never read it.
And they also practice what they preach.
Yeah.
Meaning, when they back your book, they go full book. They don't care about digital.
Yeah.
Wooster wants to know if you can send it over the Telegram.
I wish, brother.
Dude, Wooster, he's full of ideas. I like that guy.
Maybe in 3 years we could have a fleet of drones that could deliver from.
Yeah, CG drones, man. That's what we need.
Interesting.
They already think we're terrorists, so let's just get a bunch of drones to do delivery drops in different countries. Yeah.
Distribution would solve this problem. I don't know how ComicsGate incorporates.
Oh shit, Steve! You're still sharing screen. Spoilers, man.
Yeah, I'm spoiling it. That's an original piece of word art, and the opening spread of the long form interview that Gat and I did with Andrew Huerta. For the people that also like to read and look at pictures.
Great title, Pure Fire.
Yes.
Excellent.
This shit looks so fucking good, guys. Like, we put together a really good fucking magazine is the thing. Like, this is pretty good.
You're nailing it, dude.
I'm not saying it's a 100%, right? But, dude, it's a good 90, 95%, I mean, it's fucking there. By the time we get around to the next one, God willing, we do another one, we get the support of ComicsGate, right? Dude, it's only going to get better from this point forward. So what we're going to give you something spectacular, mind-blowing. But what I'm telling you is we can actually do better because this is our first time trying it. So.
Yeah, and we did talk about that the last time we had you on. You're not doing any kind of like stretch goal. The stretch goal basically that if this book is a success, there will be a second issue.
Yeah.
And actually, one thing that I did want to kind of loop back around before I lose my train of thought about the whole digital thing is that CG Only is going to spin off of the magazine in a sense, right?
We have a lot of plans to incorporate stuff from the magazine and on the website. Dude, we got so many plans for the website. The problem is we're doing all this shit at once, right? There's only so many hands, even the war campaign. But yeah, we want to incorporate basically if there's ever a time to where we can maybe release some. And maybe this will make Martin happy. Because we have at least talked about doing some digital comics on CG Only, kind of some in-between stories, in between the series we have that you're going to be appearing in Jumpstart to kind of tide the viewer over into the next Jumpstart, right? And so
that's not a bad idea.
That stuff I think we would release just for free or maybe just a small fee on CG Only, like you do maybe subscribe to it and you would get whatever content would be for free, like the Jumpstart digital content. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'd do something like that. I don't know. Like, it just all depends how well this works, right? And then how much we can actually do once we have the site up and running. I know right now we're going to have some forums. So the forums is something we're going to concentrate on. We want that to be a big deal on CG Only. We want people to put reviews in there. You know, if they get if they get someone's book and it's nice quality and it's shipped well and it's in pristine condition, we want people to leave reviews about people in there. You know, that type of thing. It's going to be really useful for ComicsGate, someplace where everyone who's kind of wondering what's going on can go, right? And they can get the daily news. Even I think we're going to have daily kind of news updates and blogs and stuff like that from certain people. We're going to do a lot with it, man. And it's going to kind of, yeah, man, we're going to mix it together. What you're going to see in the magazine, we hope to bring you on CG Only as well.
Dude, Steve, you are blowing my fucking mind with this. This is looking just absolutely incredible, dude.
I can't. Oh man.
I just wonder what people think this is. Like, I think some people think it's just going to be some bullshit rinky-dink magazine, and they're going to be really surprised to find out that this thing is well put together, beautiful, like fucking high quality shit. You know.
And we're all giving it everything we have in this. And
yeah, that's the thing, man. I mean, everybody went, you know, I mean, pun intended, full throttle on this magazine.
Yep. All the creators poured their heart and soul into these things. They worked double time. Sim still has some work to do, as you heard earlier. He's got to fix that foot, Sim. We found that last night, and I was like, well, Steve, good thing I'm about 6 months in. I'd blow the top right now. You know that? Yeah, we got time. I smoked another blunt. So, yeah, fix the foot, Sim. No biggie, brother. We got time. But, yeah, man.
But still have to
these guys are phenomenal. What can I say? Like, Sim did great work. You seen that. You guys have shown Crash Course. Peter's work's phenomenal. Joe Ball's fucking... The dude is insane with what he's doing.
He is.
Yeah, I mean, and then you guys were talking about Doodle earlier, and I mean, he just keeps getting better. He's the great Wolf Slayer. He defeated the great John Malin.
The two-time winner now. When he won both votes in last drawn and backhold.
Yeah. They gave up.
So I mean, you got a star. It's a star on the rise, is what I would say about Doodle.
Bring him back down to level because his head's already way too big for his body.
No, we'll see. You know, he keeps on producing beautiful art. He keeps winning. I don't know, man. Sky's the limit for Doodle, and it's the same for the rest of these guys. It's like the guys I chose to work with in this magazine, I felt like going forward, they really had something to add to ComicsGate, man. They were all hard workers, man. They all had stories to tell of their own. You know, they wanted to help push this thing forward, man. And so it's not just those guys, too, but everyone else we included. They're all great dudes. We have incredible artwork. Like, I can't really say enough good things about this shit. It's literally amazing the way this thing comes together.
The thing that I can say right now, I've just realized that if I scroll one more time, Sim, full circle here. I think your colors are really, really good on this. They got that heavy metal fucking movie vibe to them. I think they're great. But if I scroll one more time, we're going to see a black and white page. So get your fucking files in.
No, I'm working on it. I told you.
Okay.
You saw it.
No more scrolling, Steve.
Yeah, no more scrolling.
Good thing I've been off on a tangent and not looking at the screen.
Oh, yeah, you'd be having a fucking heart attack.
Yeah, stop it, Steve. Kick you right in your nuts, brother.
Yeah, it was supposed to be black and white, but we decided that now was going full color. So we're going all the way.
It looks good. Get it done, fucker.
Phil Diaz in the chat, Zaid Comics says Ruins is not going to be colored? ?
No, it's not.
I think that's a fine choice for the magazine. You know, there's colored stuff, there's black and white stuff. The black and white stuff in the magazine stands on its own. Mm-hmm. It really does. I mean, I'm sure when you talked about when the actual book comes out that it'll be colored. But I think in the magazine, what you guys chose to leave black and white was a very, very fine choice.
Well, it was strategically too, right? We were going to color, I'll be honest, we were going to color Bullet Maker preview, but I searched and couldn't find anyone good enough. And I think I said that last time I was on here. We're still looking for someone to color Bullet Maker. And I'm picky, and Joe's picky, and Steve's picky. So far, there's been about eight colorists that have died at the hands of Joseph Ball.
Yeah.
So that was going to be colored. It's not now, which is fine because Joe, I mean, wait till you see Death, his black and whites, and Bullet Maker together. It's like, holy shit, Joe Ball, right? Yeah, Ruins is also not going to be colored, although I think it would be easier to find someone to color that. It's just not going to, because that's kind of like something I'm putting on the back burner.
Logistically, we simply haven't found the colors that's right for Bullet Maker. And at the same time, I feel pretty solid with the idea of when it comes to Joe, or when it comes to Pat, aka D-Bag, when it comes to Sim, their line work is so solid in black and white that in choosing to do it one way in Jumpstart and another way when we collect it, that gives, I like this shit. I kind of want the black and white version and the color version, sitting on my bookshelf. So
yeah,
that's kind of how we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also with Peter, I would say with Peter, it's like with him, I wouldn't have anyone else color his stuff the way he's done it, right? I like the way Peter colored his own stuff, and Elysian Mind. So, I don't know. It's kind of like, yeah, I can give black and white for the other three things that I'm doing, and then Peter has his own kind of style and flair with what we're doing together, and that is in color. So
yeah. Peter's a one-stop shop, and that's great. But yeah, and there's a subtle shade of gray in there, and it's literally gray in the, and I got to throw this in here just so that I can do it publicly. But I was pimping Doodle the other night in a private conversation and telling him that I really, really like his piece in Jumpstart, because we've got stuff that is starkly black and white, but he works traditionally and does a whole lot of shading and so forth, and it's not grayscaled down. His stuff is not black and white. It's shades of gray from white to black. And it's its own kind of color in the way that he actually does his line work and fills in the gaps. So there's also that.
We got the Spartan Scotsman's in the chat. He says, I can slay anyone's line work, full stop. Gatsis also in the chat. He says, Bullet Maker, hit me up for coloring.
I mean, you guys... You're more than welcome to try, brothers. You know that? I'm not going to tell you can't try. Who am I to tell you can't do it? But, I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, as of yet, we have no one who comes even close to what we're trying to accomplish. So, yeah. Go ahead, Steve. Get both those guys if they want to give it a shot. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Scotsman, you're on my short list anyway, and that's going to happen. So you don't need to. Who's the other dude?
Gatsis. George Peter Gatsis.
DMs are open, brother. Hit me with where to get you on, and I'll make it happen.
We got the Delta Spurk
tell y'all you can't try. Look, if we can get someone within ComicsGate that can do this up to the quality of what we want, hell yeah.
Scotsman, you're on my short list for something else, but I'll definitely let you have a go at Bullet Makers.
Delta Spurk Force, this is for you, by the way. I wore this just for you tonight.
Right now, Spartan is it's a little surprise I had coming for you, Gat. He's covering the cover of Crash Course.
Nice. Okay.
Right on. Yeah, I like his work. I think that he's right for something we're doing. But yeah, I'd like to see him have a go at Bullet Maker for sure.
Yeah, man. We're all about giving opportunities, man. Yeah.
It's an audition, though. You got to realize that you're auditioning.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm probably, I don't know what American Idol compare what judge you'd compare me to, but probably that Simon dude bad. So.
Who was I think I was on.
It's basically three Simons. If you're talking about the one for Bullet Maker,
Paul Abdul, but.
That's bullshit, yeah. I knew you were saying that. But
Joe's the black dude. Joe's Randy.
Yeah, okay. Joe's Randy, but I'm also Simon. Fuck you. We're both Simon.
No, I think you're Paula, but that's okay, Steve.
Whatever, dude.
Oh yeah, we got some Crash Course action.
Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about Crash Course while we got you here, Gat?
Well, since we
got you and Sim here, I mean, this is you. This is both of you guys.
As Sim would tell you, this is he's a sci-fi guy. I'm less of a sci-fi guy. So when we're kind of dreaming this idea up, it was kind of a mash of kind of childhood things that we liked, right? So
yeah, it was like
I kept talking about Spy Hunter. I was talking about the video game Spy Hunter a lot. I don't know if you guys remember that game or not, but it's really, I mean, it's a fucking cool game, man.
Yep.
And so I was like, let's do something like Spy Hunter. And Sim's like, well, look, this anime Red Line, right? And so there's a little bit of that in there. What else I mean, there's a little Speed Racer in there. There's a little, I mean,
Death Race.
It's Death Race in there. Yeah, man. It's all of that. It's all that good shit, right?
The Running Man. Remember that one?
Yeah, but I would also say this: it's a little sillier than what you're used to seeing from me personally, right? It's a kind of, it's going to go Spaceballsy at times, I think, with the comedy. What do you think, Sam? You know what I mean? It's a little like the narration, for instance, right?
Yeah.
I love having the announcers as the narrators. So you couldn't.
It's a serious story, but that doesn't take itself seriously, right? It's like it's fun. Yeah. It's funny. Like you have the announcer that will be funny, keeping you entertained all along while the bad shit's going around.
A staple of fiction is the unreliable narrator, and you don't get much more unreliable than our narrators, who are also our announcers.
I love that concept.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that's one of the most underutilized forms of storytelling is that unreliable narrator.
But that's the thing. It all started by going like, there's nothing cool that's been done with cars in a long time. That's what started the entire conversation with me and Gat, and then we just went on a type of like musician goes on a jam. We're just smoking a blunt, talking like, hey, that would be cool. That would be cool. Hey, what if we did this? What if we did this? Oh, dude, I think we got something. Holy shit!
Yeah, it was weird how it happened, wasn't it, Sam? It was kind of just like over the course of like 3 or 4 hours of us being really stoned.
Yeah.
How about that? That's how Crash Course happened.
And we have like pretty much like in those hours of just me and Gat like getting stoned the fuck out. Dude, we came up with a full story, a second part.
Yeah, we went a little too far with it, as I tend to, and I'm sure as Sim also tends to do when people like me and Sim get an idea. We get to the extreme. We're 12 books into it already. Is the problem, right? So.
if we put everything we want in it right now, like just the basic of what we want to put in that story in one book, it would be like we calculated it was 90 page. Remember?
Yeah, it would have been huge. Yeah, but I think it's cooler, if we can do this thing kind of in Jumpstart, and like I said, maybe possibly do some type of digital stuff on CG only. I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? But this is one of those things. It's an ongoing series, and we can also our plans are kind of collected into a book later on. And I think the way we've written it and the way we're planning on wrapping it up kind of tightly in a nice bow, I think it's going to be really cool, man, for people to see it develop kind of in black and white, and then actually see the thing in color once they get the book. That's really another cool way to do it,
And keep in mind that this is an experiment. It's a fun experiment for me and Gat. Gat is like, he's not used to doing sci-fi, right? I'm not used to doing cars, like something that relates around cars and tell a story with a car.
This is probably my hardest thing I did. This and what I did with Peter, which is a horror, is really not my thing. I am into horror. I like it. Just with sci-fi, I like it, but I have less experience with both genres, right? So it's kind of like a way for me to dip my toes into different realms and see, what I can do there. And I feel like Jumpstarts was the perfect opportunity for me to kind of try. And we'll see what the people think about these two stories. But it's way out of my comfort zone. Let's put it that way. It's nothing like Vestige. It's nothing like Bullet Maker. That's classic Gat Hanzo stuff that you're going to see, right? These things, stuff you're going to see in Jumpstart from me, it's going to be a little stranger off the wall, a little bit, a little bit different. Let's put it that way.
I mean, you gotta push yourself to the limits, though. You gotta see what you're actually capable of,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's I was gonna
Go
say,
ahead, Sam.
I was gonna say this is like GAT getting a bit wacky, and it was
A little bit, yeah, man. And I think a lot of the people in the artists in Jumpstart, this is what we do. We want to kind of use these ideas that people are they want to get out there, right? But maybe they don't have, they don't have it all done. They don't have all their project done, but they're working on it, right?
But that's where the aspect of Shonen Jump why you always compare it to Shonen Jump. It's Shonen Jump is technically a place where you have like a little ongoing series that they're technically testers.
Yep.
Hey, let's try an IP.
It's really a tester's market for this type of stuff, and that's why I said in the future, other Jumpstarts, like I said, God willing, ComicsGate supports it. We can do this we can offer this to a lot of new creators where they can bring their ideas into here and we can put them in.
That's what Gat was saying. I was going to jump in there, and what you said also, Sim. It's a testing ground. We can maybe, if we have the support of the consumers, continue to do this and give people a place to see what if you're a creator, you can gauge the customer reaction. But also part of it was to give the people that are going to, they've got really good ideas. They're well past the gestation stage, but it's still going to take a while to bring it to fruition. So that's what we wanted to give to ComicsGate, was a way for people to kind of establish that this is what I'm doing. This is my IP. It's been printed. It's been circulated. I'm doing this, and maybe give them a little breathing room. And we've all got to bring these projects to fruition quicker, but at the same time, it's a way for people to establish their idea and then make it happen. So
also at the same time, it's a way for us to get to know kind of new creators and stuff. And if they have questions, we can help them out, point them in the right direction. Like I said, we're not really necessarily experts, right? But I feel like we can point people and give people proper advice, at least point them to the places where they can look for proper advice.
I'm not an expert, but I act like I am.
Yeah. You got the passion.
Well, you can, right? I mean, because here's the thing, like the people that are really into ComicsGate and they really pay attention to stuff and they talk to creators and they talk about all the outside business part and the backstage stuff, they kind of know what's going on, right? So, I mean, even like you, Adam, you can point people in the right direction. You can answer some questions. You know what I mean? This is really what War Campaign's here for, too, on top of kind of defending the customer from these grifters and assholes, right? We're giving you also the best comics, and we're offering any kind of advice and service we can to new creators through CG Jumpstart, through CG Only. Any kind of advice, any kind of help we can provide, we're going to do it.
Yeah, Gat and I have spent countless hours speaking with people that, maybe they'll be in Jumpstart 2. I would like them to be. And, Jumpstart 3, where are their plans at, this and that. And, again, it always comes with a disclaimer that we've only been at this for, a couple and a half years. But, I've got a publishing background as far as knowing what's going on with ComicsGate and how the winds blows. We've been here for a minute. So, however we can help. But it always comes with that disclaimer that,
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Drew Eash. He's in the chat. Yeah, you talk about a guy who knows his shit. If you ever have any questions about anything, I know he is open to talk to anybody. If you need help with fulfillment, printer, that dude put out a quality product, and he really, really knows his shit.
Yeah, I'll second that shout out to E. First time we talked to him, he showed us Captain Love and ran through it. I'm like, holy shit, dude, that's done. And you bankrolled it out of your pocket. You're what ComicsGate needs to be. I mean, not exclusively, but man, he's a guy that he's been around a while. He knows a few people. He knows how to get stuff done, and really quality product. And near as I can tell, a really quality guy.
Yeah. Donut Swan in the chat said, "Where's Gray RoboCop's gray beard?" I have no idea what he's talking about. Do you guys?
Gay RoboCop.
I'm not that high.
Donut Swan. Which one's Gay RoboCop, brother?
Metal Movies and Brewski says that cover has awesome composition, Sim.
Thank you, Metal. Appreciate it.
Here's a good question that I think we're probably more tailored to answer from Mogwai Centurion. What are the submission guidelines for Jumpstart?
Yeah, tell them, it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to me and Steve, or once we start going through this process again, we'll make an announcement, right? We'll start taking submissions. Basically, me and Steve's going to meet you in voice chat. We want to talk to you. It's not just about what you have to offer. We want to talk to you. We want to see what you're doing. We want to see what your plans are for the future. We want to make sure you're just not someone out here who's full of shit about to just get in this magazine and tip the grift, that type of thing. We want to get to know you, right? So we do this any meetings through voice. We're not going to accept anything just randomly through an email or nothing like that. I don't think, right, Steve? We'll wait till we meet with someone before we make decisions on stuff like that. So essentially, once we go into setting up Jumpstart 2, we'll make an announcement on War Campaign and we'll put out tweets. And yeah, you guys can, I think we usually do it 2 days a week, usually, Steve, when that stuff's happening.
Yeah, floats around a bit.
2 days a week.
Yeah,
for about 3 or 4 hours, we'll give you a time. And then, we'll drop a link. So anyone kind of wanting in on it, I think we'll make a DM group at that point of kind of people who are wanting to get in on this. And we'll drop that link until we've talked to most of you guys, right? Or all of you, essentially. We'll get through all of you. But, that's the plan.
Yeah.
Donut Swan says the dude on screen looks like Ro. Me? I look like Ro?
That's kind of a compliment, bro. Yeah.
Or did he mean the guy on the cover of Crash Course?
Xander looks like Ro. I think he looks more like Dr. Disrespect. You know that? Anyone who knows that he's a fucking game streamer, Dr. Disrespect. It's hilarious. I think he looks more like him.
Yeah, he says no. The cover, not me.
Here's a sample from one of the pages that we already showed before, but with a color test I did before I did the cover.
I was trying to set her up that cover thing with the logo, but it also had a spoiler, so I don't have the correct PDF prepared. Can't let you look at it. But I want to expand real quickly. What Gat said is 100% correct, but to expand on it just slightly, DMs are open. Hit us up and all that. But we want to hear from guys we haven't heard from that we don't know. But there's also an aspect of it that get to be somebody that, I'll throw it back to E. He kind of got our attention a little bit, and then we had a conversation with him, not vice versa. It was like we could tell the guy had a plan, and he possibly had a good product. So if you're out there bootstrapping it, and it looks like you're trying to make your campaign work, and we kind of know who you are in the first place, that would help too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get your name out there. When you guys first announced this, I jumped in Steve's DMs immediately. It was like, I want to be a part of this shit. Like, this is right up my wheelhouse.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I could actually. And now, give me a second let me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Now we've got this. If you want to show that.
You got it up on screen. You ready?
Better not be a spoiler, Steve.
Yeah, that's cool. It's fucking Adam's interview with Lycan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of a spoiler.
Well, you can't read it, right? I need to reduce it. I could reduce it. I wouldn't want anybody zooming in and getting on the goods early. Nah, that's bullshit. I'm gonna go at the back. No, but Adam here, thank you again, brother, for having this Jumpstart show for weeks on end. We appreciate that. But, I didn't know who the F Adam AF was when I was, War Campaign, this and that a couple of years ago or whatever. But dude is solid as fuck. He comes in, he's, He's a solid dude on all the medias. And not only that, he launches a really cool channel, Arch City Comics, where he talks about this shit. Every other day, probably, certainly a couple, 3 times a week. He's got a Saturday morning show and all that. Be a dude that's what we're trying to do with Jumpstart is push this thing forward. Again, it's like, it's a motor to drive this thing forward. And, that's what Adam does. And, just all that.
I would also say this, like, let me real quick, and I'm play bad cop real quick.
Here we go.
People who bring us stuff, look, we want the highest quality artwork, the highest quality writing. That is, at the end of the day, that's going to mean the most, right? Also, the whole grab and or be a part of this community. We're going to have to know you. That's also very important. So those things weigh very highly with us. Let's put it that way. Quality of content, quality of character.
And grab and or. Yep. Quality content, quality character. Hell yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate those very kind words from you, Steve. It does mean a lot. I mean, honestly, like, this, one of my favorite things about the whole CG community is me, myself, kind of going out there and finding some of these talents. I know, Gad, you do the same thing. You go out and essentially recruit. It harkens back to like my high school days when I loved finding new bands. And, I was the first person to go up to my friends and be like, dude, check out this album. Like, this album is fucking killer. Well, now it's, it's artists and writers. And found this dude, Flycan, on Twitter. Had no idea who he was at first. Talked to him for a bit, interviewed him, and pretty much fell in love with it. No homo, but fell in love with Flycan. He's a great dude. He's got some killer artwork. Huerta influenced, which worked perfectly with the magazine, with where it's doing the cover and the featured interview. It was just it was very serendipitous that it all kind of came together. That's who I did this interview with, and get to see his projects launching very soon after Jumpstart. So I wanted to get his name out there a little bit more, and what better way than get him in the magazine? Well,
I mean, that kind of sums it all up. You're promoting him. And it was actually fairly serendipitous that I don't think that at that point it was totally rock solid that Huerta was doing the cover. And that's when you were like, I want to do this interview with this guy. He's inspired by Huerta. And I'm like, who the fuck ain't? Yes. Okay. Do that, And anyway, it just kind of all, it's all, traffic's got to merge on the road to success.
How many people are listening right now?
We got 47 live viewers.
So I'm about to. How about this?
No spoilers.
How about this?
God damn it!
What are you gonna do?
How about this, brothers? All right, so look, we don't know. I mean, like I said, depending on the support we get for the original Jumpstart, we want it to happen. Our plans are to make a number 2 happen, but it's got to be financially viable, right, as well. So if that happens, we do have who we have lined up for Volume 2 for our interview.
Yep. Okay. If you want that.
So, I mean, and we got one of 2 people confirmed. I think it's almost a shoo-in to get the other guy. I'm not going to speak for him, right?
Yeah, but it's basically confirmed. If you want to spoil this, everybody back Jumpstart 1, and then we'll give you this Jumpstart 2. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be Donald, who has agreed, and then hopefully Cecil as well. Donald will be drawing a little Cecil homage on the cover. We'll be interviewing Cecil and Donald. It's going to be pretty wacky stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait for that.
So if it happens, like I said, fingers crossed, everyone, it's not set in stone. And like I said, I don't think Cecil even knows. So he just found out.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows now.
Yeah,
or he will.
We did talk to Donald, and he was like, dude, I would love to do it. It sounds cool. So, I mean, it's...
he pretty much knows. He's down. Yeah, it's pretty much a done deal. Just people, please, here in the next month, we will be launching Jumpstart, and buy that sumbitch, and then we'll do the Cecil thing. It'll be cool.
Buy that be in the book tier there for Crash Course, and trust me, you're in 3 panel, and you get to die gloriously, right, guys?
Oh yeah. Then that's the other thing with we're going to offer a lot of really cool stuff as far as original art tiers being drawn into the book and the Jumpstart, that type of thing. Like we got, these dudes are going to do head sketches, which everyone loves. It's a quick sellout. I know we did head sketches for Vestige, and they were gone. I believe the first night, if not the first.
Oh yeah, no,
nights,
they were gone the first night.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, this stuff
that
is
and the original art sold out in mere hours.
And we got some really cool original art pieces that these guys are going to put up for sale. It's going to be fucking really cool. We're going to have a lot of cool stuff. I think we're going to do a Huerta poster. I think we're going to do.
You better do a Huerta poster because I want that. I want to hang that beautiful piece up on my fucking wall.
Well, yeah, and so do I, honestly. I think that's what we're going to stick with, basically our tiering system from the way we did Vestige. I don't know. I'll talk to the guys, and if we sell out head sketches, maybe we'll have to offer more. But we'll see what happens, right?
Hail. We did have another question here in the chat I wanted to address from Mr. Ryan Miller Art. Hail, brother. He says, what about page count? How many pages should a chapter for a contributing artist be?
So basically, it depends on what you're doing. So if you're submitting for an ongoing series, I think we're going to do like 12 pages for those. I would say
12 to 8 on ongoing
or something like that. I would say for if you're just submitting some type of preview for a future Indiegogo, I would say 3 to 6 pages, right?
Yep, give or take. That's where we're at. Yep.
So it all depends.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, each project, each situation. One thing that we definitely want to do is as much as we can, if we can turn this into an ongoing thing, is help get these campaigns launched. We want to definitely, maybe establish the IPs, this and that, but get the timing right so that we can offer a preview just before, so that it hits the reader, and then you launch your campaign. That's a tall order, a lot of moving parts, but that's part of what we want to do. So you can factor that into your thinking a little bit.
Felix Haas corrects us both. He says, no, it sold out in 30 minutes because it was completely sold out by the time I got the notice.
Yeah. Sorry, Felix.
Sorry,
I know
brother.
there are a few people that were like, they wanted original art from Vestige. And I'll tell you what, right now, guys, I don't even own a piece of original art from Vestige.
Damn, really?
That? Nope. I don't even have one. The guy who created the damn thing doesn't even have one.
I got one, but I had to pay for it.
Yeah.
So
didn't you get one with like coffee spilled on it or something though? Steve?
I'm not getting the page I wanted because it's all about the customer out there, and I guess I'm part of the, but yeah, no, it's cool. I'm happy to have it. I'm gonna get Donald I'm gonna send it back to Donald and have him defile it some more and then send it back to me. Then I'm gonna frame it, hang it on the wall.
Drew wants to know if you guys are going to launch a mailing list for this.
Yes.
I imagine.
Yeah, well, there'll be a campaign page going up soon with all the bells and whistles.
I mean, it's basically going to go out to anyone who backed Vestige too, right? So
you already have a mailing list started for Vestige.
Yeah. But we'll do the whole the sign up page. GAT right now is totally focused on fulfilling Vestige. We're all focused on fulfilling Vestige, and then we'll make a right hand corner like it's that long ass Batmobile with the grappling hook going around the light pole, and we'll be doing this.
Most people right now, they do the pre-launch letter with a early access discount.
Yeah, or some kind of secret tier or something like that. I got Margawai Centurion's cooking something up. He wants to do a prologue on Jumpstart and then launch the book as a campaign. Well, I mean, we have quite a few previews in Jumpstart right now of upcoming campaigns.
Yeah.
So I'd say get your shit together and submit it to Mr. Dye.
Yep, that's what I just said. Get it together, work out your timing. We'll tell you what our timing is as soon as we know what it is, and that's what we want to do. Springboard it, man. Drive this thing down the road. Let's do it.
Ted Segaro asks, is it still going to be quarterly?
That's the plan.
I don't know. We can't. I mean, there's not an actual. No, that's not the plan, Steve. We don't know what's going to happen. I hate to keep saying it, right? But everything is going to determine on the type of support we get for this thing, right? So, I mean, I can't promise you that it's going to be quarterly. No.
But yeah, this goes back to what I said, and I don't know if Ted was in the chat at this point when I said, there's not going to be any stretch goals. The stretch goal itself is going to be if this book does well, there will be a second issue.
We'll do another one. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's basically, I'll tell you exactly how it's going to be done. We're going to do the first one. We're going to launch, see what happens. We're going to fulfill the same thing, and then at that point, like I said, if it's a financially viable thing, right, we're going to continue forward with building the second one, right? And so when that second one is completed, and that means print files, basically I want to see the proof before we launch the campaign. Then we'll go ahead and launch the next one after that. Now I can't tell you the time frame because during this time I'll also be doing my own campaigns as well, right? So there's other things to think about as far as timing as well, right? But yeah, I mean, we're going to put them, as soon as we do one, we get the funding, we're going to fulfill it. We'll start putting together the second one. And then when it's ready and then when the timing's right, we'll just launch it,
Yeah. Well, and I mean, not to bust your balls too much here, but to be brutally honest, the initial plan was Vestige was supposed to be done, printed, shipped January, and Jumpstart hot on its heels.
Yep. Exactly.
Shit happens. Everything doesn't always go exactly according to plan, and here we are.
So
here
for
we are,
me
March.
to say we're going to do it quarterly would be absurd. That would be me talking out my ass, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it to you straight. You're always going to get it straight from anyone dealing with my books. And I can't promise you, but I can tell you what I can tell you, which is what I just told you. This is what my plan is now.
Yeah. We have the aspirations of doing it quarterly. We have to have the backing of the consumer, turn out and buy it, support it. Yep. Make it happen.
It's a lot of moving parts too, right? So for instance, we even if Vestige was on time, some of the work for Jumpstart wasn't done in order for us to launch that on time anyway. So
that's true.
It would have been pushed back regardless is the thing. So like for me to sit here and be like, I know for sure we can do this every 3 months.
Well, you bring up a great point. There are a lot of moving parts in this magazine. I mean, shit. You guys started work on this back in September, November last year.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while. I mean, putting all this together, getting all this artwork, all these articles, everything. I mean, this was a huge endeavor.
We all have campaigns going. We all have
that
work.
Too. There's other artists that are in the book too that we also have to consider as far as their workload. There's a lot of things that that go into this. But you just mentioned the working parts and I've lost my train of thought now, Adam.
Moving parts. I got it. I got a wrench over here, but yeah, man, you're chasing down a lot of nuts and bolts. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. That's how you build this shit. But it takes a minute. But we're getting better at it all the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the same as any first campaign. There's a huge learning curve. There's a lot, that even I know you even said going out that this was going to be a very large undertaking, and I still don't think that even you, Steve, comprehended exactly how large of an undertaking this was going to be.
I just didn't know how slow Sim was going to be. Other than that,
there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ted said
Yeah,
it's very ambitious. There are understandably a clockwork of moving parts. Yeah, you nailed it, brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was getting ready to say, the next time we do it, it's a lot easier because now we've kind of established a format and we got a template moving forward for this magazine.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
it's going to be a little easier to do the next one.
Yeah. I mean, I was speaking with 3D earlier today on some design elements and so forth and so on. And, a couple of times a week. And we've put a lot of work into this. And we definitely, like Gat says, the money's got to work, the timing's got to work. But we didn't put this much work into it to do it as a one shot. That's for sure. If we put this much work into it as a one shot, holy fuck, I need to go ride my dirt bike.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. But if it turns out that we can do it over and over, and I have some confidence that we can, that would be the aspiration, is to eventually bring it quarterly. But there's a lot of moving pieces. So, like Gat says, we'll build them. You buy them, we'll give you another one.
Yep.
That's the best way to put it, I think.
Simple as that. Yeah, simple as that.
Well, do you guys have anything else you want to add tonight? I feel like that's a pretty good place to wrap it up.
I don't think so. Other than come check out War Campaign tomorrow. Who are we having on? I believe it's
Rob
the guy's
Alexander.
name Rob.
Rob.
Yeah,
Oh, Rob
Arnold. Rob Arnold from
Replicator.
Replicators. Yes.
God
That's who
damn
we
it!
have
I'm
on.
sorry, Rob. Somehow I keep turning your name into. I know who the fuck you are, and I got your ad.
Calling you
for the book.
Alexander for some reason.
I don't know, man. I always turn him into Alexander. I mean, he's the Replicators dude. I've got a promo right here in Jumpstart for him. I know just who he is. And I keep turning him into Alexander. Sorry, Rob.
I
Sorry,
backed this
brother.
book the other day. Looks interesting.
It's a great looking book. Yeah, that should be a really good war campaign, no doubt. Tune into War Campaign.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
those Aussies they're something else, man.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, make sure you guys tune into War Campaign tomorrow night. Of course, I'm sure you already are. Back Vestige, if you haven't already, I'm sure most of you already have, but there's still time to get an extra copy because it's like they said, this is the last time you will ever see that Caesar cover in print.
True. Yeah.
So might want to get a couple extra copies, at least one extra copy. I don't know.
Put it up. Yeah, put it up. You never know.
And then, of course, Sim's got Blood Hunt that's live right now. He's $85 away from 8K.
Getting close. Yeah.
Definitely like to see it get up over. I want to see it hit 10K since he already started working on the 10K stretch goal.
Yeah, I added the pages and I deleted all the tiers except the one book. Get the 2 book with the variant, and I get an original and 9x11 art by yours truly.
Oh, cool. That's actually, I didn't even notice that. Hell, I should maybe pay attention a little bit more here. So yeah, brought the tiers down. Yeah, $100 gets you. Hell, one person gets some original Sim art, which there's not really a lot of because he's a digital artist. So that's a steal at $100 for some original art.
With all the sketch cards that I've been doing and Joe Ball and a few other people saying, dude, you need to go back to original. I'm doing a bit more. I missed it.
Good idea, Sim.
I don't know. I do love original art. It's just got that soul that digital doesn't. But when you are a digital artist like yourself, when you offer original artwork, it just ups the value because there's even less of it. So it's a double-edged sword, I guess.
Yeah, but we work digital to gain speed, right? Technically, it's to gain speed and to be able to produce faster.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about working that pencil and that ink. That's for me as an artist. It's so fun, and for you guys, well, you hold it in your hand. It's there. It's not a print. It's it's a one of a kind.
I think you should go back to traditional just because it might bring some channel and focus to your work. And you're like all digital all the time. Get off of Twitter and get me that last file.
I'm done now. I'm doing the last little highlights and I'm sending it. Screw you.
All right.
Fix the foot, Sam. Fix the foot.
Yeah, you got to fix the foot.
Yes, I will fix
Fix
that.
the foot.
It's like on page 7,
Hey,
bro.
I feel like that's going to be a
freelance going.
catchphrase. That's going to be a catchphrase for a long time now. Fix the foot. Fix the foot, Sim.
My left foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys all for for coming on tonight. It's been so much fun, like it always is, to have you guys on here. Hail to the chat, everybody. Thank you guys for all coming out and hanging out with us and asking all these great questions. And, of course, like I said, tune in to War Campaign tomorrow. We got the Weekend Woke Up this Saturday, Doodle and Chill this Saturday, CG Manga this Saturday. There's something going on every day of the week anymore. And then, of course, come back here again next Tuesday for more Between the Panels. Until then, hail.
Right on. Hail, Adam. Thanks, brother. Hail
Hail,
the
you
chat.
guys.